original plan for this week of spring break, because it's my spring break right now, my original plan was to read outside for a week because I thought that it was going to be nice and sunny. And then I came to visit my boyfriend and the high is 40 and it's thunderstorming. So we're going to do something different. I'm going to try to be reading 200 pages a day this week, like every day this week. So that's what I'm going to start right now because it's currently thunderstorming like crazy and there's a tornado watch or warning or something. I was going to start Just Friends and then I was like, this is not Just Friends weather. So I'll be starting The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young, just because the cover of this seemed the least summary of the books that I brought with me here. So I'm gonna start this, try to get through 200 pages today, and we'll see how far we get. This takes place in North Carolina, and I'm currently in North Carolina. Yesterday, I read the last 102 pages of this book because my boyfriend and I were reading it together 2 days ago, and so we were finishing it yesterday. So I read 102 pages of this, and then I got through 82 pages of The Unmaking of June Farrow, which would put me at 184 pages for yesterday. Not the 200 that I wanted, but not bad. Not bad. Now I'm gonna get back into reading this and see how much we can read. The goal is still 200 pages. And if I can do that, that would be finishing this book, basically. Not really, it would be getting to like here in the book, or it'd be getting to about here in the book, but at that point I might as well finish it because there'd only be like a number of pages left. There would only be like 30 pages left, so I might as well finish it. So the goal today is getting through as much of The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young as possible. Now, good morning. Okay. First, I'm gonna open my lemonade. Whoops. Summery drink. All right. Yesterday, I ended up finishing The Unmaking of June Farrow. So I read 233 pages, which is amazing, wonderful, fantastic. Which means I have now finished 2 books in 2 days. I was gonna finish this one 2 days ago, but I didn't. So we finished it, no. I was gonna finish this one on Sunday, but we finished it Monday. We've now finished 2 books in 2 days. So it's time for book number 3. Book number 3, because I'm very excited about it. And the sun is out. And even though I'm pretty sure it's like 40 outside, the sun is out. I'm letting it come in through the windows. I got my summery drink, my lemonade. So it's time for a summery read, because I don't want to wait till the summer to read this. I'll be starting Just Friends by Pham today. And I'm so excited. Hopefully. Okay. It's like 400 something pages, I want to say. Oh, what? Am I wrong? Oh my gosh, this one's only 313 pages. So this is the same length. Okay, this is 2 pages shorter than The Unmaking of June Farrow. So, and there's less words on a page. Also, I love how cute the chapters look. But there's less words on a page than The Unmaking of June Farrow. So I am feeling pretty confident that I can get a good chunk into this book today. Obviously, the goal is at least 200 pages, but I might be able to pass that, which would be phenomenal. So, yeah. All right, I am back home at my parents' house for spring break. My dog is sitting right here sniffing everything. Reading update. Yesterday, I read... Come on. There you go. This is my dog. Hi, buddy. His name is Goose. He's so pretty and perfect, and his breath is very warm. Hi. Okay. Reading update. I got through about 217 pages of Just Friends yesterday. I got through 217 pages of Just Friends yesterday. Plan today is obviously to finish the book and start a new one. I was on a plane this morning, so I got through, don't sniff my book, got through about 60 pages. Nope, 50 pages on the plane. Yeah. So I have 150-ish more pages to read, and we'll see how far I can get. Isn't he so cute? Are you so cute? Are you the cutest puppy in the world? Yeah? You a good boy? Okay, I started filming this video over a week ago and just never finished it. I got busy, so this is the outro, the end of the video. We're gonna just do a little wrap up of what I got to read this week, or last week. Okay, so the goal this week was to read 200 pages a day. The goal was gonna be Monday through Friday, but I'm gonna say Sunday through Friday because Sunday I read a lot. So we're gonna count it even though I didn't document it in this video whatsoever. Okay, so Sunday I read 330 pages of Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo with my boyfriend. We did the all-day reading thing again. This was so good. I think I gave it like a 4.5 stars. I'm pretty sure. It was really good. And I really want to read the next one now. Like really badly. And then I want to make him, watch the show with me. And he wants to. We didn't want to start the show and then like mess up where we were in the timeline in the books. So hopefully we will read the third one soon. I'm not sure. I don't know when we'll have an entire day free to read the third and final installment. But this was really good and I really liked it. And then Monday, we read the last 100 pages of this book because this is 432 pages. So we read the last 102 pages of this on Monday. And then I also read the first 84 pages of The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. So Monday I read 184 pages, Sunday I read 330 pages. Tuesday I read the last 233 pages of this book. So I finished this book. It was also really good. I can't remember what I gave it. I want to say I think this was a 4.25 and this was a 4.5. That's what it was. This was a 4.5. I really enjoyed this book, and although I only got through, I think it was actually 82 pages. Yeah, 82 pages the first day. I absolutely devoured the rest of the book the next day. This was also really good. It's about this girl whose family, all of the women in her family are cursed. Or it's a mysterious curse, but the whole town thinks that they're just crazy. And I was like, yes. And then it was so good. I don't want to say too much and spoil it, but it was really, really good. And then I got another book by her a few days later. I think literally 2 days later I bought another book by her. But that's okay. That is okay. Anyways, so this one I think was about 4.5. I also really, really enjoyed this one. The concept was really the concept was really interesting, and do you mind? I'm not trying to use my camera. The concept of this book was really, really interesting after I read the back and then got into it, because it's kind of a mystery, and I was like, okay, what's happening? Why is she seeing these things? And then obviously you find out why, and then I'm like, what the heck? It was really good though. I really enjoyed this. Anyway, okay. I really enjoyed this one as well. And then Wednesday, I read 217 pages of Just Friends by Haley Pham. And then Thursday, I only read 96 pages, but I finished Just Friends by Haley Pham. So I read this book in 2 days. But I did not read any more on Thursday. So Thursday, I only read the last 96 pages of this book and did not start another one. But I hung out with my friend that day, and I went to the bookstore and bought a bunch of books. So it's fine, I guess. I don't know. Okay, Just Friends by Haley Pham. I've heard a lot of vaguely controversial stuff about her book, of people being like, oh, she's a YouTuber, so she got all these opportunities, and her book's not even that good. I don't care. I thought this was so good. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was a fun time because it's split. What's the thing called? Dual timeline? I don't know if that's actually what it's called. There were 2 timelines. So there was the now, and then we kept getting flashbacks. The flashbacks, when they're 16, 17 and in high school, they sound like they're in high school. And I would know, I'm currently student teaching in a high school, so I know what high schoolers think like. And also, I was a high schooler once. I was 17 once, obviously. But Blair sounded like a 17-year-old when she was 17. And then in the other timeline, she's 22, and I'm about to turn 22. And so I was she sounds like a 22-year-old, which was really I don't know how to explain that, but I liked that you could tell the difference in her age based on how she was thinking and how she was talking, because you're 17 and you're falling in love for the first time and you're not as realistic as you might be at 22. I know that I'm still young, but like she seems so much more like she thinks so much more logically at 22, and I feel like since college I've started thinking that way as well, so that was cool to see. I don't know, I just saw a lot of myself in Blair. I really enjoyed this book though, and like yeah, there were some things that like I would have appreciated if it was dual POV, but also I feel like that's really hard to write, and because it's her first novel, I'm not gonna be upset that she didn't write it in dual POV, just because I would have preferred to know what Declan was thinking sometimes. You know what I mean? I think people are doing stuff outside my apartment. I think that all of the praise that this has gotten is very well deserved. Shut up. They're like mowing or something outside. All of the praise for this is very well deserved, in my opinion. And I can't wait for her to write more books. And I will be buying all of them immediately. This was so good. I really enjoyed this. Okay, and then Friday, I read 192 pages. So I also did not make it to 200 that day. But I finished an entire book. So I read The Promised Neverland, volume 11. Yeah. I got into this story a couple years ago when I watched the anime, like the first season of the anime. And then the second season came out. I never watched it. And I heard it like really differed from the mangas. So I started buying the mangas and started reading them. This is volume 11 of 20. So I'm over halfway through now, which is great. But I think about like all of these I've given about 4 stars because I mean they're good. They're just not like groundbreaking or anything. And none of them are like worse than any of the others. I don't know. But in this volume, they finally finished the fight that had been going on for like 3 volumes. So I'm very happy with that. So yeah, that is what I read on Friday. So even though I was not entirely successful in reading 200 pages every day this week, and by not entirely, I mean not really at all. I only read over 200 pages twice if we're not counting Sunday, and 3 times if we are counting Sunday. We should count Sunday. And then 2 days I got really close to 200, but I didn't quite make it. And then one day I didn't even break 100, which is totally fine. I just thought I'll get a bunch of reading in because it's my spring break and I have nothing to do. Anyways, despite not reading 200 pages every single day, I did get through 4 books, which is pretty incredible because student teaching has made it difficult for me to spend large chunks of my time reading. So getting to read every day this week was honestly phenomenal. I got to spend my entire day reading, basically every day. Sign me up as much as possible, please and thank you. Yeah, this was great for me. I really enjoyed this. It got me through over half of my TBR for March. I almost said April. Whoa. It got me through over half of my TBR for March, which was awesome. I have since finished another book and started another one after that. So that's also awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I got through much more of my TBR this week than I thought I was going to, and I'm very happy about that. I got through all but one of the books that I brought home for spring break, which is like amazing because I brought home 5 books for spring break. There's no way I didn't really think I was gonna finish all of them, but I did. Well, most of them. And I've started reading that 5th one since. But yeah, that's all. Got through 4 books today. Not today. Today. Got through 4 books this week, which is pretty incredible for me because I only got through like 4 books in all of January. So getting through 4 in 1 week was awesome. anyways, that's all I got. Bye.